Welcome to Shine On with Shannon.
Said this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for shining on with me here in this sacred space that we create together every time you tune in. I am always so grateful to have people listening. That being said, this episode, I want to talk about giving back to our communities. This topic is near and dear to my heart because it's so important for us to be able to connect with each other in this day and age, so much so that the internet is so accessible, it's made us basically cyborgs. You know, that device in your hand or however you're listening that connects you to millions of people around the world at any given time, as well as any kind of information that you would need access to. It's pretty crazy, right? But with that being so easy, it's also become so much easier for us to get disconnected from our communities around us. Those of you that know about the Bring Me to Life challenge, you might not know that it's something that we try to keep going, and we're going to keep it going for as long as we can. But I've been one of the people that had the opportunity to come up with many of these topics. And this is one, again, that is very near and dear to my heart. For the month of August, we're focusing on giving back and getting out into the community. Because for me, there's so many ways to give back. One is just by showing up. Just like we show up here in this space for ourselves and through our community on Bring Me to Life. But I want to talk about getting local for a second. I love going to local events, and honestly, hosting them as much as I can has been kind of a really eye-opening experience. I see people put a lot of hard work into making things happen, especially if it's an ongoing meeting, event, gathering, community. And being someone, again, who's behind those scenes, I can see how it's a little discouraging to throw an event and not have many people show up, especially if there were many people that said they were going to. It's really important to get out and show up where and when you can. There are so many good causes out there. And another way you can give back to your community is by showing up at a local meeting or an event that you've been meaning to. There's all kinds of local clubs, committees, teams, and volunteer options that would love to have you show up and support the cause. Maybe you've been meaning to show up at the local city hall meeting for the public and see what's going on. If you don't put your voice out there and put your effort in, who are you to have a say in what's happening in your community unless you become a part of it? Maybe you're someone who also has an abundance of stuff laying around your house. Another way you can give back is instead of a yard sale, why not give it to a family in need? Or there's that college kid who's headed off on their own and needs new dishes or who knows what. There's probably a family that just had a fire and needs new clothes or children's toys that you have just collecting dust. If you don't need the extra class or you want to just feel good, what would it hurt to invest in your community? And wouldn't it feel way better than having to do all the work and host a garage sale anyway? There's other ways to give back too, by, again, just volunteering at your local soup kitchen. But also promoting local events is a huge way to give back. So much, again, time, money, and energy goes into creating events, and word of mouth is really the best promotional opportunity. If there's something you enjoy, share the good news. We're so often ready to complain and discourage or put down a restaurant or an event or something that we went to. But instead, why not talk good about the things that you enjoyed? Show people what is happening in your community that's worth checking out so that others can find that and support it as well. That being said, it's time to start shopping more locally. I love to check out the little local shops wherever I am, whether it's in my hometown or a town I'm visiting, because I know as a previous shop owner how much time, energy, and money, again, goes into keeping that going. And having somebody with a smiling face come and check out what's being offered in a new location or a location that's been there for generations is so just a breath of fresh air. It's a breath of fresh air when you see a new face come in. You could also just be nice to others in your community. Go for a walk around the town and smile at everybody you meet. There's not enough kindness out there. So many people walk by staring at the ground or they stare at their phones. Comment if you think you're someone who stares at your phone and now you're ready to put it down and just smile as you walk around. You might be the only smile somebody sees that day, and it could change their whole world. That's an easy way to give back to your community, just by looking around and being there for one another. There's plenty of different causes, again, that you can give back to. I know as a person who grew up in an abusive household for a while, there are many other children out there that are suffering from that and would love to have a adult that they can look up to or admire, or that would just listen to them. I know we have a local children's group that has basically just little hangout spots for people who get approval to be there and hold space and be a safe haven for those children who have no one to talk to. There's also the elderly. There's many, many old people who are just bedridden and no one goes to visit them. No one gives them love or attention, and the only people they see all day are nurses and doctors. That goes for anyone sick. I used to work at a hospital, and my favorite people were the chaplains and the volunteers that went around to the rooms and just sat with people to give them company so they didn't feel alone. I think that's such a beautiful way to give back to your community. And all it costs is a little bit of your time and love. I know this episode is probably pretty short because I'm actually getting ready to head off to give back to various communities. You don't have to just give back locally. You can give back globally. You can show up in communities online as well. And Bring Me to Life is that. We create a community so that you can show up and create friends and help change the world one heart at a time, just by changing your heart and opening your mind. We ask that you leave a comment wherever you're listening. I always love to see who is listening and sharing time and space with me whenever and wherever you're listening. That's a way you can give back to this community and the community that I create here with my tribe. Really, I think that any way you give back is a way to help you shine and light up your life. One of my favorite speakers is Gabby Bernstein, and she quotes one of her teachers, who I can't remember off the top of my head, but when she gets down, her motto is to help others. When you need help, go out and help others. It's important to remember that. Sometimes we get depressed and we pity ourselves and we say, oh, why me? Or why is no one there for me? Well, be the change you wish to see and go light up somebody else's life. Inspire them to give back to their community. Call a friend and go start visiting all the local shops. Go to the animal shelter and give some animals some love. They're a part of your community too. Whatever you do, just do it with an open heart and hold space for your community to change. Some of you may be thinking, I don't want to go out in my community. It's not what it used to be. But you know, it's not going to get any better unless someone like you cares an awful lot to go out and make a difference. One way I'm making a difference is by showing up at local events, festivals, and even online to offer classes, courses, and to just hold space. Last week, I went about an hour away to a community and gave card readings to over 15 people that I didn't know. And now they feel like soul family. I was able to hold space for them in a way that I created a community just there in that room. Those people now have each other because they went through an experience together, and it was beautiful. We laughed, we cried, we sang, we danced, we ate food and hung out together, and it was just beautiful. This weekend I'm headed off to Inclusion Festival, and it's in a community for those that have special needs or are just looking for a family-friendly, safe space. Inclusion Festival is a beautiful event that represents what community is all about, making sure no one feels left out. Even those of us that have what I like to call superpowers, which I'll be teaching a workshop there called Activate Your Superpowers. Looking forward to that community event a lot. Another thing that I'm offering my community right now, and I wanted to share with all of you in case you haven't heard, is I'm doing a chakra course. This chakra course is 8 weeks long, and we dive deep into healing our personal traumas as well as finding ways to give back to our community and to be the best version of ourselves that we can be. Because by doing that, we inspire others in our community to light up their life. Now, the 8-week chakra course, it does have a little bit of a fee because you're getting a lot. However, I do many free offerings, and there's a free version of the 7-day chakra challenge where you have an opportunity to dive in and begin the work. And it's available in my group called Light Up Your Life on Facebook. If you go to my Shantastic Shine page on Facebook, you'll find links that lead you there, or feel free to reach out to me again whenever, wherever you're listening, and I'll make sure that you are able to find that community so you can make friends there online as well. If you haven't already, I highly suggest you check out the Bring Me to Life Challenge group on Facebook as well. So those are 2 beautiful online communities that you can join and make friends in. And they're all about inspiring each other, being there for each other, waking up and shining on together. That's what we're all about here. That's why I do what I do and hold space for all of you. So again, I'm keeping this short and sweet. I got bags to pack and communities to serve. So send me a message or leave me a comment and let me know how you give back to your community or how you would like to give back to your community. I want to hear from you because I'm trying to build my community. All right. Well, I think that is all for now. And until next time, I hope you stay awake and shine on always. Bye.
I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine.
Thanks for shining on with us.